Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives episode 44, even though you're probably seeing it say episode 41 because I messed up again, but it is episode 44 this week. I have on Christopher Venables from Venables Pest Control. This podcast, if you're new to the podcast, it's a podcast that's made to entertain and educate, so if you can get something out of it. All the CPD schemes cover it. So whether you're with British Pest Register, BPCA, and Basis, but I've only got 6 codes for Basis, and they've already been used. So, but please remember to log it with your CPD provider. This week we have on Christopher for Venables from Venables Pest Control. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I've been live from my bedroom, not my office today.
That's fair.
I got my feet up and I got a nice backrest, so yes, I'm good.
That's good. It doesn't matter where you are, you know. You can connect from anywhere now, can't you?
Absolutely.
It is. So, obviously, you're got a pest control company, but have you always had one?
I used to be. A while ago, before pest control, I used to be a gamekeeper. That was for a couple of years. Then I left gamekeeping in 2002, I think it was. 2004. But then I worked with my father for a while, then moved down towards Gloucestershire, and then became a member of the industry.
So, in that sense, do you mean you went to work? Did you go and work for another pest control firm?
No, not at all. No. My father said it's about time I got qualified in something of a career. He funded my RSPH level 2 training, and then I set up Venables Pest Control here in Gloucestershire. I believe it's in 2010.
Very nice. You've been in the industry far longer than me, then.
A little bit too long, yeah. You can tell by the wrinkles on my eyes, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
they're there. They're definitely there.
My dad set this firm I'm in about over 10 years ago, or probably a lot more than that now. But yeah, that's good to hear. So you didn't ever have any experience working for the pest control firms then?
No, I worked with my father for a bit. That was A&R Pest Control. He's semi-retired now. He comes down here maybe now and again and shoots all my deer, which is good. Yes, I worked with Dad for a couple of years, really, on and off, just gaining experience through it, and then moved to Gloucester. Still have Father as a bit of a guide as well, which is always nice to have. He's been in it for a very long time. He's been there, done that. So as a point of reference, it's always nice to have that on your phone, just to be sure. So there's a good clarification of things when I need it.
Right, so you're kind of, in a way, a little bit like me, because like a lot of people I speak to have all worked for big nationals and big and other companies, and so if you worked with your dad before, kind of like me in that sense. I've never actually worked for another. You work for your dad, but it's not like working for another firm, is it?
No, not at all. No. The benefit of working with big firms is then you get the training provided, and then eventually you will move in your own direction.
That's what everyone seems to do. They seem to go in to big firms, get all the qualifications, and after a few years to go and set up by themselves.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. Absolutely.
Not everyone does, but some do.
Yep. Yeah, some companies have a certain time of year where if you're leaving too early, you've got to refund them either for the training or a percentage of the training, I would think. So you're not just going there, trained, and leave the next week. So you are providing something. They get the work out of you first.
Well, I would have thought so. I wouldn't have thought it'd be that easy. I've got my certificate. I'm off. Hello, Storm TV blog on YouTube. Hello, wherever you are. And
I hope you learned something.
Yeah, and Jensen Corrigan. Hello, welcome. But no, that's so. When you were starting your pest control business, as obviously you had an experience with your dad. What was it like for you actually setting up your business? Like,
as the same as any
foundation with your dad, and then
I was thinking
the business side, like setting that bit up. How was that?
I would think setting up any company with anyone's always going to be quite daunting, and getting off your feet and getting contracts, doing the footwork is always quite bad, because you may not know the industry well enough to sell it well enough. So you would gain it better with experience as you go along. So when you start off, you got the training, you have to develop your experience. It's a very hands-on industry, isn't it? You can have all the qualifications, but I got my level 2 and my level 3. So,
Yeah, nice.
but realistically, the more experience you can get hands-on, the better it's always going to be for you. To even sell yourself, you have to know the industry well.
Yeah, you do. Level 3 though, well done. You're part of the tiny percentage in the UK. So
yeah, it was hard earned. I mean, I will admit I did fail it. I did, but then I obviously did it again, and I passed it. But I will admit that certainly. Yeah, but I think it's been a good road forward. I don't think any more training at the moment that I'm aware of. I don't think I need anything else as such. But I've done my iPath as well, my ladder training, etc., etc. But yeah, at the moment, I will just keep grinding and working before I do any other training for the moment. So.
No, that's good to hear. That is obviously, when you were like starting up, how did you go about trying to get work? Were you on like Google Guaranteed or website or word of mouth?
I don't think I spent that much money on advertising at first, because starting up, so you're trying to keep costs down as such. But I just hammered the emails and just emailed as many companies as I could, in handwritten emails and such, trying to make it more personal. And then eventually you get a few takers. You are good, but you got to think of if you're getting 10 takers to go and look and see what they have, you may well get 1 or 2, but at least you're starting to get them down the lines. And the more you get, the more confident you're going to be, and then you learn how to get them. You learn what would actually work to get these contracts to actually call you back, and you will get better at it when you are more experienced, and then you can fund more advertising. I've got a good website. I do a lot of social media stuff. I think I'm on Google as well. I can't remember what listing I'm on Google that way. And word of mouth. I'll probably say 40% of my work, maybe 50%, comes from word of mouth.
It's good, that is, because I do a bit of social media and that. In the local area, I'm quite known. I use that next door app. It does very well.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
But I've actually got called by one customer. Oh, you're the next door celebrity. I said, no, I'm not. She said, you're always posting on there, but it's not always about pest control. You see, it's about other stuff. So I'm not just trying to push my service.
Yeah, true.
Other stuff like that.
Yeah,
and but no, there were some good ideas. I mean, the contracts wise, I'm still learning that, because when I started in like 2020, I was, when you start, I wasn't very good at talking to customers. It took me a while. You develop that, don't you?
I mean, always going to be developed, and the more the database you can build, but you can only build a database through your years of experience, and the more people you were dealing with, and hopefully they'll always call you back. So a lot of my during the WASP season, my database is huge with regards to how many people I've dealt with over the years, and they will call me back. So that's why I get so busy with WASP, because they're calling me back from previous years. So just building a natural database through just doing rat jobs, wasp jobs, bed bugs, fleas, etc., and ensuring that you do it properly, and then eventually they will just call you back for the next problem.
Yeah, we generally get people every year that ring us back. I'm so and so. They expect you to remember, don't they? Mr. Jones from 6 years ago.
Do you remember me? No, probably not.
I always say, I probably remember you when I get
there. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. So I had the lady call me today about squirrels that I did a wasp nest for her 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And she's got squirrels now, so I'll be going on Thursday to go and deal with those.
Yeah, it's always nice when people bring you back. They do.
It is. Yeah. You build friends and you build relations as well. I mean, a lot of my father's clients, now that he's becoming retired, they're not just customers, they've been friends for many years, 30, 40 years. So they're not just customers, they're good friends as well. So
it's good to hear. It's good to hear other people can hear the advice, because there's a lot of people starting out and people looking for advice here and there, and to be fair, you gave out some quite good advice there when you were starting out.
Yeah, and even talking to your local pest controllers if they're happy to talk to you as well. I mean, I'm good friends with many pest controllers around here and around the country as well. So when you develop good relations with other pest controllers, they will also help you and provide you with some work. If they're a bit busy, they'll give you a call. Could you go and do these couple of wasps for me this week? And then you're developing your own database as well. So it's building good relations with your local with your local competitors, without stepping on their toes. If possible, but when you're good friends with them, they will help you as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I get on with the majority of them around here. I speak to them. There's some obviously that don't like to speak to us, so that's fair enough.
It happens.
But the vast majority do. But it's like, if you look at me now from when I started in industry, I've got, speak up and all that. And but it shows you how you go on the journey, isn't it? It
is, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, you're always learning, aren't you? Because I'm learning.
Of course you are.
Much.
Yeah, it's a very educational industry. So again, going into the level 3, that sort of helps me as well. But you have to keep up to date with things, and talking to the reps of the manufacturers and the suppliers as well is a good way forward. WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, it's all there to be told and explained. I mean, when laws changed for us with regards to our building the legislation with buildings, there was a bit of an uproar for a good several days when that first started. Then it all slowed down when people finally understood what it means and what you could always do, and what you would have to change, which is a big part of the change, yes. But there's always things you can do. So it's understanding you always have certain things to do that you can still do, but there's certain things you just can't do. But you got to work around it. And you have to do it.
Well, yeah, it's like, I don't generally, obviously, because I've just sorted out all my I've had my crew certificates, but I had to send them off or email. But the crew declaration, but I had to sign. I just worked out how to do the signature on a tablet. So I've sent them off now. It's just signing on a. I couldn't work out how to do it. I've sent them all off now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's going to be the one. I mean, this month's probably going to be a busy month for that kind of people registering their points for the 1st of January. I believe I'm all sorted. I will check tomorrow just to be absolutely sure, but I think I'm all okay with mine.
I hear it's keeping the pest suppliers very, very busy.
I think it's going to, yeah. And there's probably there may possibly be a backlog. Hopefully not. I mean, going into the holidays and things, it may well be. But yeah, once you have them, if it hasn't been gone through and you have them and you can prove you have them, I wouldn't worry, because you can prove you've got the points and the crew points needed. And then if it's not registered by the 1st of January, don't panic. Just do it a little bit afterwards, and then you'll have it then. So just don't panic too much.
There's a lot of people are still panicking about it now, because I'll be honest. I see a post nearly every week, somebody asking on Facebook.
Yeah,
but I'm like, the information is everywhere. It's everywhere you could possibly think.
Yeah. But if someone's asking the question, the best thing to do is just answer it honestly. Yeah. I mean, the one thing with social media I do find, especially when new people are coming into the industry, and I will recommend this, if anybody's listening now that's very new into the industry, if you have a question about pest control, it doesn't matter how silly it is, just ask it. I mean, you will get some silly answers, and you will get some people being sarcastic. Ignore them. Just go with the people who are answering the question, and just ignore that sarcasm that sometimes come with it, because all of us were at your position at one time. We were asking the same questions. Don't be afraid to do it. Sean and I can answer them. We're always happy to help anybody. And if you have a question, we would rather you do it properly and safely than potentially illegally and unsafe.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, if you're with trade bodies, there's technical managers and the technical people that can help you. But equally, your pest supplier can actually help you if you ring them.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Or you can just speak to other pest controllers.
Yeah, they want to tell you the right stuff, don't they? So they'll always help you.
Yeah, well, the Facebook groups have got better over the years. Nowadays, they're so much better. Years ago,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
They pile on you. Well, if I'm going to tell you what to do, I might as well come and do it for you.
Yeah,
silly comments like that. But
it's not the case. It's not the point of it, is it? Really, because they're asking for help, and it's just good. Well, if they're always going to get those kind of answers, they're not going to ask for help, and things can happen. So they need to understand that, yes, ask the question, ignore the sarcasm, and read the ones that are nice and polite and to the point for what you need to do. So.
No, exactly. It's fair points. It is. It is. But yeah, there's some great advice there in general. Yeah, just don't be afraid, because it's
absolutely. It's a
everyone's here to
complicated
learn.
time.
Well, it isn't a minute. Nobody knows everything. Anyone who says they know everything
is lying.
Yeah, there's people that have been in the industry 30, 40 years, so I don't know everything.
Yeah, but it just when you got somebody who's been doing it again for quite a while, like myself, again, and other people. I mean, things have changed, and they also have to have an understanding that of what has changed in the industry now. For what you could do 20 years ago, you can't do now. So it's keeping up with the times that you have to understand that.
Oh, it definitely is. So I hear off you personally that you do a lot of bedbug work. You do.
I do enough. Yeah. I could do with doing less, but I can't resist this. I love doing them.
So what's your? So I'll be honest. I've had probably one person that's talked about bed. I've had Dr. Richard Naylor on here as well. To talk about it.
Well, I'm very lucky because Richard Naylor lives about 5 minutes from my house, so I am incredibly lucky.
Do you get on with him?
Pardon?
Do you get on with him?
Oh, very well. Yeah, absolutely. He's if he's listening now, hey Richard, how are you? If he is there, but he's filled in the gaps of bedbug work that I've asked him over the years, to a point where he's just an extraordinary man, and his wife as well, lady, obviously, of information to provide. He's filled in so many gaps. He's done chemical testing for me a few years ago. I just gave him a bunch of active ingredients and said, can you find out what works and what doesn't? I've got that data as well. I'll send that to you, Sean, later, the data that Richard gave me for that. And you can put that on your page. So it's showing the mortality rate of all these different active ingredients that we have. So he's a fantastic source of information where I've gained so much knowledge from Richard that he's just an absolute gentleman to do it. And he lives so local as well.
But have you offered to give him a night off and sleep in the lab with the bugs?
Oh, he does. Oh, so, yeah.
Have you given him the night off and you say, "I'll sleep in here tonight"?
Oh no, never. No, I don't think so. No, I don't know about that. But no, he's. Yeah, I think he's been doing it for around 30, 35 years. I think it could be more, could be less, not too sure. But he's in my opinion the foremost expert on bed bugs on the planet, personally. So he has provided me and my colleagues with a lot of information and filled in a lot of gaps about bed bugs, how bed bugs work and how they operate. It's a very big understanding for us. It's one thing to apply chemically, to apply heat systems, but if you can understand the bed bug and how they work with males and females, where the females are moving away from male clusters because of their mating process, that can naturally move them around a room, even without a host to a point. But you've got to have a lot of bed bugs for that to happen, so sort of several hundred bed bugs for that to start happening. So understanding how bed bugs naturally move and operate is a very big thing to understanding and how you're going to solve a problem. Because if you're just applying chemically without understanding it, you're going to be there for a long time and keep on applying regularly. Whereas when you understand them better, you would know where to look more. You would know when you're getting dormant bed bugs coming back into chemical actions. And he's made me understand that maximum doses isn't necessarily the best way forward.
Okay. No, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, so when you think of maximum doses to minimum doses, you want the bed bug to be in the chemical action as long as possible. So a maximum dose insecticide, when looking at alpha-cypermethrins, cypermethrins, or even piperine peroxide and things, it can have an irritant factor, so we can actually push them away from the chemical action for a time before the chemical gets less potent and less active, and then they're coming back into the chemical action more because it's not irritating them as much. So I'm not talking about applying minimum dose, around 30 mil if you look at it, Symmetrol potentially for that. So think of being in the sun for too long, you have to seek the shade. It's a similar thing. So if you're in the chemical action for too long, it's too irritable, then they're going to be seeking other areas where there's no chemical action or less of it. So less is more, certainly less is more. And my main three active ingredients are alpha-cypermethrin, fendona, piperine peroxide, and it's going to be cypermethrins, either Cibitrol, even Citrol 40 as well, for those actions. And when you have applied chemically, when their bed bugs are coming into a chemically exposed area from a non-chemically exposed area, they are producing enzymes to break down insecticides. So they are doing that naturally. So that's more the resilience as opposed to the resistance side of it. So resistance, obviously, when they're fully resistant, their enzyme production is very, very advanced, and they can break down these products incredibly quickly and efficiently as well. So the slight resilience is when they have naturally, when they're breaking down insecticides through their enzyme production. So you want them to be in there as long as possible to have the most dose as possible. And the only way to get that is to have it on the minimum or half dose, the setting really. And really, when they're being exposed to a chemical action, it's around sort of 10 to 12 days for them to actually obtain a lethal dose through those intermittent exposures.
I can tell you do talk to Richard a lot. You know your stuff, right?
But this is what I've learned from Richard, and this is why I'm very, very, very glad to have him and actually know him. He's filled in a lot of gaps throughout the years.
You mentioned chemical. Do you do any of these heat treatments or steam treatments?
Yeah, I'm a big, huge fan of the Poulti. I got 2 Poulti systems at the moment.
Steam, that's steam, yeah.
So I use that probably 95% of my bed bug work. So if you've got 500 bed bugs in front of you, you're better off steam. If you have a steamer, you're better off steaming them, because if you have 500 bed bugs in front of you, you're going to have egg systems in those clusters as well. So you're better off steaming it and killing them, dehydrating them very, very quickly, and you are going to get a huge number of dead bed bugs as a percentage quite quickly. So really, within the first treatment, if you're doing the heat system, a Poulti Simex, and a sort of chemical boundary treatment as well, you're possibly killing 60 to 70% of the bed bugs that are there in that first treatment over the course of those several days. You are getting that kind of percentage anyway. And then you have bed bugs that are further afield that have to come back into the chemical action, and or to an area where you could treat them with heat again as well. I've done bed bug work and completed it with just the steam system upon request from the client, but it's taken 7 to 10 treatments over sort of 3 or 4 day intervals.
Really?
You have to give time for anyone to come back, but then you've got to monitor on top of that as well. So it can be done, but it's quite more intensive to do that.
I could imagine that cost the client quite a bit more.
It was a lot more, yeah. I'd probably say almost double the usual cost. I mean, for a 2-bedroom house, I normally charge, I will reveal the charges now, I would normally charge between £400 and £500 plus VAT is the usual costs. And my main time scale is about 2 months. So application chemically with the Simex is going to be every 4 weeks. I don't normally go into the third unless I can justify it. That may just involve heat treatments down the lines, and with pheromone trapping as well. But I tend to stay there for at least 2 months throughout the whole treatment, because of any dormancy, depending on how severe the problem is, it's good to be around for those extra couple of weeks. Even if nothing happens, if something does, you can be involved straight away. And it's to ensure that the client knows you're there for that period of time, because of any dormancy, any eggs or any bed bugs you can't physically get to, they have to come back. Again, females naturally moving away from male clusters, and when you've got thousands of bed bugs in front of you, the natural pheromone produced by the bed bug could actually overpower the human pheromone to a degree where you get some dormancy anyway. So you're going to have to get that pheromone thinned out over the period of time for them to reactivate again, to come back into the host area. And you have that a lot with rental properties. When somebody's moved out of a property where there's been bed bugs and they've gone dormant, somebody moves in over the 7-10 day period, they're starting to get bitten again when they're reactivating, and you get a wave effect. So you have bed bugs reactivating again, coming to the host, you kill them off, and you get quite periods of time for maybe a week, and then you get reactivations again. So it's like a wave effect coming in and out. So you've got to be there and to deal with that. So dealing with it on that principle of a rental property can take longer, because you have that kind of a wave effect of activation of bed bugs coming through.
It does make sense. It does. So when you mentioned a 2-month period, you obviously mentioned that price. Surely that's not for the whole 2 months. There's got to be a bit more.
That normally covers the sort of first month, when you got the first treatment, going to the second treatment, and depending on the conditions. I mean, the main monitoring doesn't take long. Once you know where to look and you're pretty efficient at looking around, it doesn't take too long at all. I mean, I may charge an extra £150 on top of that if there's really things for me to do. But usually there's probably one in five I'd have to charge a little bit extra on top of that just to do maybe another heat treatment together with a bit more monitoring to ensure. But it's reassuring the client that and they've been through a lot when it comes to bed bugs. They've probably spent thousands of pounds trying to do it themselves. So being there throughout that period of time just gives them a bit more trust in you to do the job well, and you're there to help if anything does change.
Well, I think it's great, honestly. Are you part of that lady bedbug? No, queen bedbug. You know what I mean?
The Queen, yes, I do know of her. She's very good. If she's listening, hello.
She's got a Facebook group. Have you been on it?
Yeah. I think it's Bedbugs UK. I think it might be something different, so I can't remember which one. But no, she's very good. Very good. Yeah. Oh yes.
Because she gets a lot. She's actually banned bite pictures. She said
because you can never really tell with it. I mean, bedbug bites potentially a line, flea bites clustered, and any sort of sweaty areas. But it is very difficult to really say whether you're there directly and inspecting the bed. It could be other things, couldn't it? Yeah. It could be allergic reaction. It could be mosquitoes. It could be fleas. It's very inappropriate. I mean, clients send me bedbug bites photos, and I say, look, I need to come and have a look. And usually I don't charge to come and have a look and see if it is bed bugs. Okay. But if it is, then we talk about pricing, we talk about treatment, and then we go from there.
Okay. Thanks, Jason from Ask Pest Control. He's got a question for you.
Carry on. Hold on. I'll have to go a bit closer with the phone, so you might see up my nose.
I'll read it for you.
Yeah.
Do you use carpet theme attachment for the carpet or hard floors? I do. I have had really good results, especially on flea treatments.
Yeah, well, he's made a good point there with hard flooring. So hard flooring is always a bit tricky when you're spraying, because technically, if you are applying chemically, it's good to get concentrations in between the boards. But you can make good vibration to hatch any kind of flea infestations with the hard boards. Getting the steam close and down into it, if you can get good pressure into it over the period of time, it will work really well. I've used this for moths on hard flooring. Good results as well with the steamer. It's a very versatile piece of kit. So yeah, good. I've had good results. The attachments are good. You can get other ones, but keeping the pressure high is always the key for it. And the Simex system is not designed to be used quickly. So applying it slowly to build up pressure, build up the heat. And I normally go over a bed with the steamer twice. So you do it once thoroughly, and you may get bed bugs that are running away. I even use it for cockroaches as well. It was great for cockroaches. You've got to chase them a little bit, but it does work. So inside electrical things and ovens and tumble dryers, etc., it works well. But yes, for hard flooring, stamping about, making vibration, steaming through, as soon as the steam touches them within 3 or 4 feet, they'll be dead. And the more eggs you can get, the better. So yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Thanks for that good question, Jason.
Yeah, if you can read the questions out instead of me putting the phone right to my face, it could work, quite well.
Jason's that's commented so far. Them other comments, I'm going to ignore them. They were some kids on YouTube. They were
what? Sorry, who were they?
They were kids on YouTube. I don't know who they were.
Oh, okay. Well, if you kids can listen, become a pest controller. We'll help you get there. Yeah. And yeah.
My son wants to be one. He's 10.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Well, yeah. But no, you've got. I'll tell you one thing. I looked on your website. I think you should change your bedbug page and make an emphasis on how well you do it, because your page is quite brief, but your knowledge is vast. It is. I think you should make a bit more of a. Because I'd call you a bit of a specialist. You really get it. You do.
Well, I do my best. I mean, again, I've learned this from my father throughout the years, and again through Richard as well. And it's things where if you talk to the right people, you will learn the right things. And if you talk to the wrong people, you're not going to learn anything apart from doing it wrong. So it's really talking to as many people as you can. I mean, I'll give my kudos to them, my father and Richard as well. You know, I've only known this by talking to them. Yeah. So and I'm always happy to, and yourself is always happy to pass knowledge through to anybody who wants it. Absolutely.
No, this knowledge will definitely help people. It definitely will. What was I going to say? Right, the one thing that blew my mind that Richard said on the Beauties and Beasties, and I brought it. Just trying to think. he said that a lot of the resistance build-up is actually the manufacturer's fault. And I know you were, because I didn't realise that the bases and that they coat in pyrethroids. I didn't. They're all coated. I didn't, and that's part of the point. It's not all, because everyone always thought it's the pest controller's fault for spraying it, but apparently it's not. It's actually impregnated into the bases of the bed. That blew my mind. That did. I just thought it was pest controller's fault. But
No, it's never our fault. I mean, the three main products that I use, again, when you go back to the ones that Richard showed me with regards to the mortality rate, pipermethrin, alpha cypermethrin, again with Fendonis, obviously the newer ones out now from historical product being brought back, and cypermethrins, and that's Symmetron. I mean, Symmetron's got the RTU, which you can use on mattresses. The neat version you can't with that. So but those are the three main ones that I would use, and that's based on what Richard has found. So we only want to use the ones that work. When I was chatting to Tim Bloom, probably last year, maybe this year, about bed bugs and actually what it costs the pest controller to do it. So if you're using products, I mean, some products may have better results in different parts of the UK compared to where I have, absolutely. I'm not mocking any other manufacturer or anything at all. We just use what works is the main thing, because we're charging the client. It's their money, it's our profession. So when you have products that don't work, I won't name any, I don't want to be sued today, products that are not effective against bed bugs, you are doing more visits, even if they're cheap and costing you less money to use on the job, and you're making more profits, you're therefore spending more money in the revisits than what it is using a more effective product where you're doing less. So you have to use products that work well. I mean, everyone's got their favorite ones. Those three I said before, my ones that I know work well, and with the monitoring and with the persistence, you can do it. So it's about using the right product that does work, because that client's paying you to do that job. They're not paying you to save money; they're paying you to do the job. So using the correct products, it's not that much more expensive in reality. I mean, they give it a few more pound per mix, but it's not enough for me to change to make a cheap product and go there more times. So using the right products, and then Simex is a great system. Having one of those has been a good asset. So don't skimp on the active ingredients and the ones that work well. And speak to people like Richard. He knows what works well. I might send him some more products down the line, and he can do some more testing. But I can make the testing he did for me a while ago available for anyone who wants to see it. And they can. I'll ping that over to you at the end, and you can stick it on at the end.
Yeah. Cheers for that. But no, I'm really impressed with your bed bug knowledge.
And everyone has their own ways of doing things. There will be people who would disagree with how I do it, which is absolutely fine. And I'm always happy to learn new things. And it's just how I like to do it. And others have different products. It works for them. Fantastic. It doesn't matter as long as it works. And some people do, like I think Richard Barry does the big heat systems, which work great for him. He's fantastic at doing that. He's a good bank of knowledge for that. And it works for him. And he goes all over the UK doing that.
I will ask him on at some point next year. I've got the Bedbug Queen lines at February, I think, next year.
Lovely. I've been watching that. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I seen her at Pest Tech, and she found me. She said, I've been looking for you all day. And she finally found me. I was like, well,
she found you.
I'm here, there, and everywhere. Because Richard messaged me, actually, and said, I'm so sorry. What do you mean? He says, I did see you at Pest Tech, but he says, you look really busy. And I was surrounded by people asking me more questions. I says, don't worry. I says, it was a blur that day.
It was a good event. It was a good event. Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've never been to the BPC Pestex. Is it called? In March.
Yeah, Pestex. Yeah. Next year.
I'll be going down.
I'll be there talking about Asian hornets. I'll be on one of the stands there doing that. So that'll be fun. I had a great time.
You see, I've never been to that before. So
never myself. Never myself. So it'll be my first time there next year. As well, so that'll be my first time there. Certainly will, and I'll be giving a talk about some Asian hornets. So I better be sure I get brushed up on the knowledge properly.
But again, it's a bit different for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I've talked to colleges historically, and I've given talks, but then when you're talking in front of a lot of people who know what they're doing, who are very good at their job,
The sweat's pouring.
It is. You have to be a different level. You have to be there professionally. You have to be there with as much information as possibly can, because there's people there that know a lot more about it than me.
Yeah. That's fair. Like, is it also though? You're on the BPCA board, didn't you?
Yeah. That's been
you're in there.
Good fun. Very good fun. Yeah.
Are you enjoying it? Yeah.
Very much so. Absolutely.
It's interesting. It's not what you think when you go in though. It's a little bit different, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It is.
Very much.
But yeah, so you wanted to mention, because you're a big advocate for, well, you like to use the product selonta in a lot of your work.
Yeah, I like to use products that work, and I'm always lucky enough, I would say, lucky would be the word, to be able to use these products before they come onto market, to get a good knowledge behind them, and provide that for future use for the manufacturers and pest controllers. So yes, selonta, Cholecalciferol as a whole, I do thoroughly enjoy this. When even with agricultural use, I've actually got it on probably 95% of my farms now as the primary rodenticide there for the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Do you do any like high-end farms, like biosecurity places like that?
Probably the highest end one I use on is a biogas facility up in. I think there was some photos with Best on a while ago when they specifically requested selonta, and that's because they have in a hugely open area. They have barn owls, they have kestrels, they got birds of prey, they got scavenger birds, which are all still there at the moment. And they specifically requested it as the only product for that site. So Cholecalciferol itself can be used, but specifically with selonta for that one. So I do have both Harmonix and selonta there. I do have both products there. I think most of it at the moment is reverted back to non-toxic, because many areas have shown little to no activity of rats for quite some time now, but it's a horrendously clean site as well, so that's got a huge advantage, because Cholecalciferol is very dependent on what the conditions of the competing food sources are. So I find with agriculture, how I've found it working well, if the farmer's happy to pay the extra costs, and basing it on an arable farm, if you can clear and proof as best as you possibly can, you will get the maximum results with Cholecalciferol. And define when it doesn't work. What I found when it wasn't working, the competing food source was an interference. But once you've solved that, it works wonderful. And 95% of selonta, even Cholecalciferol as a whole, in both products, I was still getting uptake, but I knew it could be better. So you have to prep the site well, I find, if you can, and if the farmer's happy to pay for the extra work, yes. For you to get the maximum, and that's where you save the money. When you're using it without putting the major work into it, you will lose money because you've got to do more visits and change things around. It sort of teaches you to be a basic pest controller again, go back to the basics, look at the proofing, look at the hygiene, which you have to do really anyway, and it provides you with that benefit. So that's where it saves you the money. So working with the farmer as best as possible, if they'll let you, will make you save money, because you've got to do less visits, because it is having the best efficacy on the bait, the best action.
Well, no, that's a fair point. It is, if you get the farmer to work alongside.
I mean, dairy farms are the worst. We all know dairy farms are hard to proof because you've got so many open feed areas. Many farmers don't let you do it. They won't pay the extra, which is just a shame, because if they're requesting it, they've got to understand prep work has to be done for it to work better. And if they're paying you to do a job, they want you to do it as best as possible. So they have to work with you to do it. And farmers that, again, I've learned through my years, farmers that don't work with you, you're probably costing you money at the end of the year. Is more what the contract's worth. And are they really worth your time? Probably not. Because if you're wasting time having to go there, bear the brunt of all the insults from the farmer, there's rats everywhere, where you explain why there's rats everywhere, and they don't want to help you, you have to be firm. And really, if it costs you money, just move on to the next. Get rid of them, move on to the next. But if they are happy to work with you with, again, Cholecalciferol, most of my farmers are on it now. They've signed up for other 5-year contracts, and they're very happy with it. So it's prepping the site, understanding about the mode of action, keeping things clean as best as you can, and hopefully the farmer will understand that if you do that, you'll have no rats. Your machinery's safe. You're preventing any kind of cross contaminants, not just from the rats themselves, but the feces. If they're bringing in matter from outside into their grain store, if they're eating their grain, if they're defecating in it, dead bodies in it, if it causes the farmer to apply grain bait on the ground, we've seen that, and again, that's around the grain store.
Yeah.
Your job shouldn't be to kill the rats entirely. Your job should be to protect their livelihood. Yeah. And if you can think of it on those terms and explain it that way, hopefully they'll listen more.
I gotta be honest. I mean, I've probably got 2 farms and they're just grain stores. You know, I say 2 farms. They're literally 2 grain stores next to each other by the same. I say farmer, but he's not. He just puts grain in them, and that's all I've got. But there is people out there. This information will really help. It will because. I've got quite a few people that just do farm work, and they said they've got their good clients and they've got the clients that don't listen to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. But looking back on Selonta for how I used it first, when I first started using it before it was on the market, the best results I got, again, go back to an arable farm, I found with the start of it, uptake was slow when they had access to competing sources of food, but what I found on a different farm is doing it differently by completely proofing the barn, every single bit I could find, stopping them getting in, letting them feed upon their stored food already for sort of 7 to 10 days, with applying the bait stations on the first day, let them acclimatise to that. Then you apply the Selonta. Then I got uptake so quickly, and I actually killed the entire farm of the population of rats within 7 to 10 days, within 5 visits. Very easy to go along with. And that's what I found worked the best. And trying to implement that on all my farms. Some agree with it, some don't. Most of the ones that don't, I'm probably going to bump off mid-year when their contract's due anyway. But the ones that do, fantastic. Very easy contracts to do.
I actually love the way you talk about these farms, the way you do business, because it seems like you do a very good job, because I heard you mention there some of them have signed up for 5 years. That shows.
But that's lucky. I'm just lucky with that one. I mean, my contracts on farms are rolling contracts. But when farmers can see the value for money, yes, it's more expensive at the start when you're looking at proofing what you can. Some things you just can't proof. I mean, there are situations where you just can't do it, but you've got to do things different. You've got to maybe do trapping, shooting as well with that. But the more confidence the farmer can have in you, and that's based on the products and that's based on how you use them, the more like it go. They will keep the contracts going and talk to other farmers as well. But the more farmers that recognise that this product needs prep work, Cholecalciferol as a whole needs prep work before you can get the best results. It's not just applying, hoping. Look at it on what's going to suit you best and make you the most profits, and that is going to be competing food sources and removed as best as possible, hygiene as much as you can. Some farms just don't do it. Yeah, fine, you have to work around it. But at the end of the day, it saves you money. And that's where you save it with Cholecalciferol, is by reducing that and getting them on the product. You're using less product. The visits are normally every 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks monthly. And that's where you save the money.
Oh,
use it well. Think about the mode of action and what can make that better.
Yeah, so with that, I can tell you're quite good at selling, because you mentioned the value.
Yeah, experience sometimes.
You seem like you understand how to talk to farmers, like provide the value.
Yeah. So as we discussed before about attaining conscious when you first start, is knowing your products, knowing the industry, how they work. You can explain it better. You can give them more knowledge on how you're going to operate and do the job, and the reasons why you need to do it in certain ways.
Yeah.
And that's just developing an understanding, isn't it? Through it.
Yeah, no, you are right. It's just you seem like you work very good with words when it comes to farms. But some people can talk to farmers and some people can't. Yeah,
there's a way around with farmers. Again, farmers want to get the best value out of their money. They want to squeeze every penny, which is rightly so, absolutely. And the only way to do that, I mean, they don't care how much it costs me to do the contract. If they sign a contract for X amount of money, they don't care how much extra it costs me. But it does at the end when I say you've got to look for somebody else because you've just cost me an extra £500 a year by not listening to me. Then that's when you're either going to pay that back or you're going to change what you're doing. If not, you can find somebody else. So don't be afraid to say no, and don't be afraid to say, look, you're costing me money by not listening to me. This is why you've got the problems. and I'm here to do a job, and you're not letting me do my job, and don't be afraid to either put your foot down or just walk away.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it
So
costs you money, it's costing you money, and it's pointless.
Jason is here again. He's under his Jason account now, not Asp Pest Control.
Mhm.
Have you baited with Harmonex, and what are your results? I find
Harmonex.
he finds it's hit and miss.
Harmonex is the one you can boa bait, cilantro you can't with. So boa bait with Harmonex is fine. You have to secure it well. Again, you have the primary exposure to non-target species, which is always going to be an issue. So you have to keep things safe. You do end up using a lot less than what you think when you're pulse baiting with Harmonex. When you can get it to the source, it's always the best option. Getting the rodenticides to the source is always going to be your money maker with that, to actually resolve a problem as fast and as efficiently as it possibly can. So anchoring the baits is very necessary. Don't cover the holes with soil, because that will encourage the rats to dig out the bait potentially. So what I tend to do is cover it with a brick and leave a small gap at the base where the rats can see a way out, and that tends to stop them digging. But having depth of bait is very crucial. So choosing the right hole is going to be a very big thing. So don't go with the ones that are that would lead the bait to potentially fall down from gravity. Look at the vertical holes, the deep vertical holes where you can secure it very well and deep.
Okay.
So good results. Yes, good results. Yes,
that's good to hear. That's a different method, that is. But no, you're right. They wouldn't dig if there's a gap.
Yeah, so it's discouraging the digging as best as you can, because that could expose baits as well. With that, so used to get a lot of that with grain baiting and boa baiting. With that, where you would cover the hole, then a lot of the grain bait will be dug out to the surface, and you've got to quickly clear it back up. Yeah. So it's ensuring that and not encouraging them to dig as much as possible. So
yeah, there's one that I always hear with Cholecalciferol. Have I said it right?
Cholecalciferol. I probably said it wrong myself.
I don't know. Because people are always saying, "Oh, it needs to be in grain form," and I know that would be very not.
For what I gather with cholecalciferol with grain form, they I could be wrong. They can't get the cholecalciferol to penetrate the grain enough for it to be inside the grain itself, so they can't penetrate the grain with it, as opposed to what you can do with Budificum, Bovidine, and so on. Yeah. So a pellet form would be nice. A pellet they could do.
Yeah, I heard something similar at a seminar, and someone asked that, and it was nearly bang on what you said. It was that he says they've tried, but they can't do it.
Yeah, so pellet form could be nice. I'm sure there may be things down. I think in America they got it in a waxed block. I think. Yeah. I will double check that. I should have double checked it before I said it really here now, but I think they've got it as a wax block in the USA.
Completely different world, America, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's a bit crazy. My American friends won't mind me saying that. Right? It's state by state in America. It's all different. It is. At least we haven't got that to contend with.
No. I think California's banned rodenticides, haven't they? I think. You should get Jasmine from Petco back on here. She'll know.
Yeah, I can't remember if the problem is the world keeps following what California are doing. It's worrying.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we won't go into the state of this country at the moment, but yeah.
Jason reckons they should make Harmonex into a block form. That will be better than the pasta form. But
yeah, so each formulation that we have in rodenticides has its own area where it would work the best. So grain baits will always have their own area where they work the best. Same as blocks, same as contacts, etc., etc. So, I mean, at the moment, the soft block I do find works quite well. I don't know what Envy we're going to be doing any further lines. I'm not sure what Cilantro are going to be doing, Basaf are going to be doing for any different formulations. I'm sure something will come out soon.
Jason, 6 to 7 years probably.
Maybe.
That's what I'm hearing on all new products. They said, they said that all new. I heard a talk once. They said that the average new product gets registered, you're looking about 6 to 7 years for the HSE to approve it.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Long time, very long time.
So more's getting removed and added.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Obviously.
always good to have if something gets removed. I mean, they are looking at what alternatives would we have when looking at FICAMD. When that was removed, the other alternative was the quartz, or was going to be the Vulcan, isn't it? So there were alternatives there, and from what I gather, the amount the manufacturer was making in profits compared to what it cost to renew the license for it wasn't matching. So
No, because
it was more of a business sense, which really is a business, and they've got to make profits. And we have to adapt. We have to adapt to it, don't we? So.
Because obviously with Vicam D, I think I spoke to John from Killgerm, and he said it's like this, Sean. You make more money out of a box of Vicam D than the manufacturers do. You make thousands out of one tub.
Yeah. Well, the first nest covers the box of Vicam, doesn't it? The first nest covers the tub, and the rest of it's, I wouldn't say pure profit, but the rest of it's a lot of profit.
Well, yeah. But he said to them as a company, it's not big money.
No, never will be at all. No. Even with cilantro, when people say about the cost of cilantro, they don't make that much onto it. I don't know the figures. I have to speak to Lawrence about that. But I'm sure they don't make that much either at all. Yeah, and it's how you use it. And again, go back into the savings for the cost of cilantro. You can save your money by prepping the site. Look at agricultural purposes, equine yards and things. You will save money by prepping the site, which the client has to pay for realistically. And when you're looking at a long-term contract, you'll save it by prevention, the standard hygiene, proofing, keeping things clean.
No, it's great advice. There's a lot of people I know that do fart. I'm sure because you've given that great advice on cilantro and Harmonex. Well, mainly cilantro, but Harmonex as well.
No, I talk about both. I use both. I'm not paid by anybody. I'm not paid by BASF or anything.
I wasn't suggesting that.
No.
I did see you.
No, not at all. Both products work fantastically well. Absolutely, and they're there to work, and they're there to, and they wouldn't if they didn't work, they wouldn't be there. It's how you use them. With any product, it's how you use it. So, and when things don't work, something's there making it not work that you need to change. If you want to use that product there, if you have to use that product there, and it's not working, something needs to change to make it work.
No, it definitely does. It's I did see you on the basic stand. I'm sure you had a T-shirt on too. You look like
I had my work shirt, or they didn't send me a BASF shirt. I keep asking, but they won't send me one. So I had my work shirt on. I look more normal.
It was a blur that day. I thought you had one on. Sorry, but yeah, but no, yeah. I think. Is there anything else you want to mention, or?
Yeah. Let's go back to bed bugs.
Yeah.
Richard found some information. The earliest ever record of bed bugs in this country that he found was from 1586, and that's from this country. So we've had them in this country since 1586, and how they used to deal with bed bugs in their properties there was put a pig in the bed. The bed bugs would feed upon the pig, have their feed, then the host would switch with the pig.
Okay.
That's a good thing to talk about with clients with. So I always say about Christmas meals when you got pigs in blankets, I thought, oh no, that's actually from when the bed bugs and with the pigs in the bed. And most bed bugs, when you think of what we deal with in the UK, yes, we have our bed bugs that have been here since then and all year round, but so many bed bugs come from different countries that we need to know what insecticides would work against that strain of bed bug, that epidemiology of bed bug from that country to this country. So anyone who's listening, if you have bed bugs where you know they've come from a foreign country, try and collect live samples, untreated samples, and send them into Richard, and he will do some chemical testing. And he will use that for his own database, and you will then know what would work, what won't work against that particular strain.
That's a good thing he's doing there, because it helps everyone. It does.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It does. It's well, yeah, because they are coming from all over the world. People are traveling.
Absolutely.
It only takes a few to jump on your luggage bag.
Yeah, I went to New York before our COVID lockdown, and I actually had some on my suitcase when I got it back from Heathrow. So somebody's suitcase had bed bugs on it, which they transferred to mine through vibration or something. And I could see them on the conveyor belt. I thought, great, somebody's brought bed bugs onto my suitcase. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got
Yeah,
home, opened the back of the van up, got the steamer out, and steamed it for about half an hour before I took it in the house.
so you didn't kill the bed bugs with your fingers just before?
I did a few. Yeah, yeah. I did as many as I could in the airport,
Yeah.
and then got in my car, my van, drove home, and then I thought, well, I'll get the steamer out and steam them at 2 o'clock in the morning. Steaming my luggage, put everything in the dryer. So it does happen.
Well, yeah, it can happen. It can. It can. But yes, some great advice there about. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about? Because
Oh God, yeah,
I'm
that's not my
cautious.
real knowledge.
I'm cautious of time because I wasn't sure how long you had. That was
Yeah,
all.
yeah. I got to stop in a few minutes and try to think of anything I can quickly say. I would say anyone new in the industry, if they have any queries, talk to me and Sean and anybody else you have there. Talk to your reps for the manufacturers, talk to the BPCA, MPTA, talk to us. We're all listening. We're all happy to help. Yes, we are two different membership organisations, but no, we are just normal people, normal pest controllers, and we're there to help. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
absolutely. So ask the questions. You won't know the answer until you ask the question. So go right ahead. And if you want to email me, message me personally, fine. If you got queries, just let them rip. I'll do my best to answer as best as I can.
No, definitely right there. You are. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
That's all right. No problem.
Who would you like to see on this podcast? If you
Well, I don't know, the Bedbug Queens one definitely.
Richard's been on already.
Robert Moon would be a good one. Speak to Robert Moon from France. Have a good chat with him.
Might be able, he's been on the Beauties and Beasties, so he might come on.
Yeah, give him a shout. Yeah, he's a nice chap. Yeah,
I think within the next, I think Asian Hornets eventually will be a pest control job here.
Well,
eventually,
when you look at it, Asian Hornets, there's nothing against the law that says we can't treat them.
Yeah.
We can treat them, but the legal side of things is about them. Gone.
A preface, I said eventually. I'm talking years to come. I'm not.
Years to come, there will be something that we will just have to deal with. We will get lots of calls out. The legal side is obviously reporting the Asian Hornets through the database, the AOPH. There is that there, yes. When you look about our involvement with Asian Hornets, which should have been from the start, absolutely.
Yeah.
The AOPH will suddenly have 35,000 people who are qualified, experienced enough to deal with this particular type of pest, and ready to go at a moment's notice. When you're dealing with an invasive species, when you've got minimum people dealing with it, when in reality they should have had the entire industry helping to monitor, to track and trace, which is the sort of hardest part. The track and trace is the hardest bit, and to treat as well of an invasive species. There'll be a lot less Asian Hornets every year, even up to now. For when it was 2016, wasn't it, in Tetbury, where the first one was found? There should never be an increase. There should be a decrease in the amount of nests they're doing every year. So they've got to think to themselves one day, we're going to need some more help with this. When it gets to thousands a year, like it is in Jersey, and so on and so on and so on, more people have to be involved. There has to be physically more people involved to deal with this.
Oh, it does. I think eventually they'll just admit defeat, and it'll become.
Yeah, when they admit defeat, it's going to be too late.
I'll be honest. I think they're already there. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the nest numbers are increasing. When they increase, not decrease. I mean they're in Ireland now. They found them in Cork and near Dublin this year.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they found 2 nests. I think it was 2 nests. It could be more. So they're there now as well.
But yeah, apparently I've heard recently that a lot of queens have been found, so that means they're kicking queens out. Yeah,
but any nest you miss, you're going to have 70, 80, 90 queens that are going to be out there propagating for next year's nest.
Yeah, you think of that the amount of damage that can do.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Again, having Robert in is going to be a good one because seeing him do them, the stigma I found against Asian Hornets, there was no major aggression. There was some aggression when we treated them. Yes, we were suited up. We were dealing with that way. But even the ones that were treated weren't that aggressive. I approached a couple of nests on purpose without a suit to give off my complete body heat with that. And there was no aggression at all. No, not at all. I was possibly a bit silly to do it, yes, but I did it on proving a point. And when you're finding nests, if you find them with a machete, you're gonna really pee them off. So And even when you treat them quickly. By the time you treated the wasp nest, you treated it, you're done, you're having a cup of tea. And the same with the hornets there, the Asian hornets, you treat it, you're walking away and you're done. And the main part where you may get stung are the fallen ones from the insecticide. So yeah, there's a bit of a stigma against them, and it's how you find them. They can be found with thermal cameras as well, thermal spotters. Robert did some recently, I think he put it on social media, where he was spotting them with thermal spotters, monoculars. So they can also be found that way. So quite active, yes, it's got to be quite active to do.
I suppose it's a heat source, though. I've actually treated wasp nests like this in someone's. If you look from the outside, on this lady was living in front of her son's house, like in a little flat thing, a mobile home, and you could see the wasp going in at the bottom. They were obviously going in the bottom. They're going up the top, and when I went in there, you could hear the nest was in the corner. So what I did was I got the thermal out. Checked where they were, made a little pierce, and used aerosol and sealed it. That killed it, and I used the thermal. You could see the nest dying.
Absolutely, yeah. So track and trace is going to be the hardest one. I think they're using GPS trackers. I'm not sure whether they use them this year. Certainly, hopefully next year, which will certainly reduce the time to find the nest. I mean, it would be nice if we could develop our own version of track and trace, and then treat as well as an industry. Because just completely have our own version of it. There's nothing stopping us doing that, as long as we report them to AOPH as well. So it's going to be an expense. We may have to find some sort of funding for that. It would be interesting.
The problem is, though, a lot of the public were just reporting European hornets to them.
Yeah, so misidentification is the big thing. Some are doing wasps as well. So having the knowledge and having people with knowledge to do that properly. I mean, as pest controllers, we can apply traps to our contracts and have specific people to look at them for us, couldn't we? Really? So we have many places we can monitor for these Asian hornets around the country with all of our contracts. That's a huge amount of people that can do it anyway. But it's obviously funding the traps, funding the bait, funding the treatment as well. So there's got to be an incentive to do it. Otherwise, we are business people. We got money to make, and we got things to run. So.
Exactly. Well, Sean, part of the Beauties and Beasties, he actually offered his local area. They were doing treatments for the Asian hornets. He offered his services to go and help them for free.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. They were.
Yeah. Of course, they won't be. No. Which way really is again? There's nothing stopping us doing ours, but then we've got to look at the finances behind that as well to do it. I mean, I've got some traps in Tetbury and Quennington near Cirencester where there was activity around there, but nothing showed up on that, which is okay. But they'll be around us. I'd say in the next couple of years, 3 years maybe, we'll see them more prolifically. I think. I mean, Kent has a lot of them anyway. The majority of them are down that way, but we'll see them more often than bigger numbers.
Yeah. No. So I think it's been a good one. Thanks for coming on.
That's all right, no problem at all.
You've really impressed me tonight with your vast knowledge, honestly.
No, you do me as well, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But thanks for that. And I'll contact Robert Moon next to get him on. I might.
Yeah, I'll give him a nudge for you as well.
give him a nudge.
Will do. Right, thank you, Sean. It's been wonderful, mate. Really good.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Take care, guys. See you now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.